Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, Playing a little Statis Pro. I just got my 1983 set I've been looking for a couple of years, and we are in the bottom of the fourth. Scores 2-0 Mets. It's Seaver versus Carlton using actual lineups. Um, Rose, Morgan, and Matthews for the Phillies, followed by Schmidt at third base, Perez at first base, Diaz the catcher, Ivan DeJesus the shortstop, Bob Dernier the center fielder, and Steve Carlton pitcher. For the Mets, it's Shea, Wilson in center field, Mookie Wilson, Bob Baylor the shortstop, Dave Kingman at first base. Left field is George Foster. Third baseman's Huby Brooks. Mike Howard. He only played one game for the Mets, so there was no card for him, so I could have created one. But a stand-in is, I believe, Mike Bradley. Brian Giles at second base. Ron Hodges, longtime Met at catcher. He was with the Mets in the '73 World Series. And Tom Seaver pitching back from the Reds after 6 years, a 6-year hiatus. M. Donald Grant let Seaver go, traded him away in 1977, June 15th, called the Midnight Massacre. A little hot chocolate. And, all right, so Steve Carlton versus Mark Bradley. He's standing in for the guy who really played in this game, Mike Howard. Mike for Mike. So let's do it. Let's pull a card. This is card activated at 6, so it's off Carlton 44, and that's going to be a strikeout. Carlton strikes out Howard, one down. Bradley, Howard. Brian Giles, 7. That's again off Carlton, and it's a 14. I'll be bounced. He's a righty versus a lefty, so hold on a second. Lefty pitcher versus a righty, 87. And it's what was it? It was 14, so that'll be a base hit. But off of Carlton's card, 14, it's going to be slapped to pulled to left field. A little looper that drops in front of the left fielder Matthews. So runner on first. And here's Hodges. That's a 9, so that's going to be off Hodges. And it's an 81. That'll be some sort of an out, an LN. That'll be a little number in front of the plate. Check for the error. And no error. So let's see now. With a runner on first at G2, double play grounder to catcher to shortstop to first. OBA A or B. Ron Hodges is a D, beats it out, so he does not beat it out. So it's a 2-6-3, highly unusual. I have seen Molina pull that off one time, but he's like one of the top fielding catchers in the league. All right, so I was got to put one down because there was a base hit there. Now I don't usually use the pitcher reduction, but I'm doing it today. I've used it in the past, don't really like it. All right, it's just an extra thing I got to keep track of. I hate doing that. So top of the order, this top of the lineup, it's going to be Pete Rose up. Seaver, we pull it, and it's Seaver's card. That's a good thing for Tom. Tom is pitching well so far. That's a 17, and that will be a strikeout. So Rose swings and misses at a Seaver fastball. Now I'm having issues grabbing these cards. Very tricky. It's an 8. That's going to be off Morgan's card, and the 85 will be an out. It'll be an LP, and that will be 3-1. Hey, and no error. So it's a ground ball to the first baseman, Kingman, who flips to Seaver covering, 2 down. Here's Gary Matthews. Matthews with the 7. That'll be off Matthews' card. That's an advantage for the batter. and it's a 32, and that's a deep drive to left field, way back. Back goes the left fielder who's out there, Foster, to the track, looks up, and that's gone. 2-1. Gary Matthews with a home run, and it's the Phillies are within one here at Shea. Got a hold of a Seaver fastball, drove it deep over the fence in left field. It bounced into the parking lot. Here's Mike Schmidt, another home run hitter. So that's Seaver loses 2 there. All right, that's going to be a 10. That's off Schmidt, and that looks like a 67, and that will be a base on balls. So after the home run, it's a walk to Schmidt. Seaver loses another one there. Next is a 9. That's off Perez, and a Perez 75. It's an RN out of some kind, and that's a ball hit right back to Seaver. Seaver plays it to retire the side. G1. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 left to walk, and we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. So as you get into the flow of this game, you can see it moves a little bit faster and a little bit faster, right? So Tom Seaver starts off the 9th. Let's go to Carlton now. Looking at that side. It's an 8. It's going to be off Seaver, and it's an 83. That will be an out. Pitcher, grounded 3rd, no error. Played nicely by Schmidt. 1 down. Next is Mookie Wilson with a 7. That'll be off Carlton. Carlton 76. That's an out. He's an SN. And that's a grounder to first. First baseman is Tony Perez. Oh, it could be an error. 2-10. 2-10, and a grounder to Perez. And he's a 1, so no error. He makes the play. Bobble it for a second, but no. Bob Baylor now. 2 out for Carlton. It's a 4. That's off Carlton. And it's an 11. Let's see. Bob Baylor is a righty versus, so that's going to be a base hit. Little infield single, ground ball to the hole. Shortstop gets there, but there's no throw. So it's a 2-out single, and Carlton loses 1. Report card is off Carlton, 6:57, and that's a wild pitch. Moving to second is Baylor. Batting is Kingman, so it's a wild pitch by Steve Carlton, allowing Baylor to move to second with 2 outs. So it's a scoring. He's in scoring position. Here's pitch to Kingman. It's a Z. That's an unusual play, which I will skip. 9 is going to be off Kingman, and the 71 will be an out, an RP. And will be a pop-up home plate catcher in front of the mound. Makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left to go to top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning is going to see, we're going to see Bo Diaz up. All right, here's a pitch from Seaver. It's off of Diaz's card at 75. He's an RN. It's a bouncer right back to the mound. Seaver takes it, feels his position, and throws out Diaz. 1 down. Ivan DeJesus. What has he done today? He's struck out and sacrificed. 0 for 1. Off of Diaz's card at 74. That's an RN. RN is a bat again, hit right back to the mound. Seaver feels it. 2 away. Now it's Bob Dernier. Off of Seaver's card, 74. And that is a no error. Wait a second, we have to look at the out first. Dernier is an RN. That'll be a ground ball to short. He handles it cleanly. Baylor throws out Dernier. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the 6th, I believe it is, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. All right. George Foster's leading off against Carlton. Pitch. No. It's a CD. We got to roll again. A 4. That's off Carlton. 33. And struck him out. Foster strikes out. He's 1 for 3 today. He had a hit in the first. Next up is Huby Brooks. It's an 8. That's going to be off Brooks's card. And a 57 will be an out. RN will be a pop-up right side. That's a first baseman right there. Perez makes the catch. 2 down. Here's Mark Bradley standing in for Mike Howard. That's a 5 off Carlton. A 12. He is a righty. That'll be a little line base hit to left. So it's a 2-out single again. So that's another one he loses. Bradley's on at first. Pitch, it's a 10. That's going to be off of Giles. Giles with a 48. That'll be a base on balls. So with 2 outs, 2 runners on now for the Mets since Carlton loses another one. So the 48 is a walk. All right, here's a pitch from next batter is Hodges. Oh, clutch defense. Who is it going to be? The third baseman. Let's see his clutch defensive rating. Probably a 2 because, yeah, he's a 2 at third base. So, infielders, let's see what we roll. We roll a 16. And that'll be a line to the fielder, L5. So it's ripped, but right there. Hodges rips it to the opposite side. And right there is Schmidt positioned perfectly in between third base and second base. All right. So we go to the top of the 7th now. It's 2-1 the score. Carlton leading off. Here's a pitch from Seaver. Oh, actually, now we're gonna quickly shuffle. We'll take a long time shuffling here. About 3 a.m. This is part of the Insomniac series of baseball games. After this, we'll probably input this into Stratomatic because Replay doesn't do the 80s very much. We have a couple of 80 seasons, but not too many. All right, so it's going to be Carlton. Seaver to Carlton. So off of Carlton's card, that's a 62, and that'll be an out, pitcher out, which is rather short, no error. 1 down. Bounces to Baylor. Baylor fires on target to Kingman. Here's Pete Rose, top of the order. All right, pitch from Seaver. That's an 8. It's going to be off Rose's card, and a 26 is going to be a drive. Base hit to right center field. Rose, a big turn, and goes back to first. So it's a 1-out single. Second of the day. Seaver loses 1. And who was that off of? I feel like that was also Seaver's. That was off of Rose. So we're going to check for the error on the outfielder. No error. All right, so next up is Joe Morgan. Tough batter. That's an 11. That'll be off Morgan's card at 87. A righty versus a lefty on 87. Righty versus 87. That's a single. Runner advances 2 bases. So that's a rip to right center field, and runner will advance to third. So now the tying run is on at third. Yikes. Here in the what looks like to be the top of the 7th inning. So now Seaver's in trouble because here comes the heart of the order. Remember, it's 2-1 Mets. Gary Matthews, who hit a home run. So we got some movement in the bullpen. But we're hoping Seaver can work himself out of this one. All right, gonna pull a card, see what happens. It's an 8. That's going to be off Matthews, and that's a 68. That'll be an out, an RN. I didn't call the infield. First and third, we have to bring the corners in middle halfway. And that is going to be, ground ball to second base. If there's no error, this could be a double play. There is no error, so let's look at first and third up the middle. I remember I kept them halfway. So we're looking at this separate chart. First and third, a G4, infield back, double play, second to short, runner on third scores, but there's 2 outs. So the Mets and Seaver get out of it. 4-6-3 double play, huge. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. And wow, we got lucky there, man. I played the perfect defense. So, my genius is evident, and my humility as well, in that, that's usually how I play these situations. You can say, well, by playing the middle infield, I have to now share my strategy because of the success of my play. So I can't keep it to myself. I have to talk about my genius a little bit. But you could say, you know what, you're basically allowing the tying run to score by playing the middle. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm also allowing the run to score, but I hope to score again. That's my philosophy, and I could have played everybody in, and right now I'd have to go through Mike Schmidt. All right, so huge play by the Mets defense. Goes to Baylor, to Giles, to Kingman. And we go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch. I want everybody stretching out right now. And Seaver's leading off this inning, and you know what? He's gone 7. So, and again, I hate to pull him, but I don't want him starting off this inning either. So, I think I'm going to pinch hit for Seaver. And you're probably saying, wow, what are you doing? So let me see if I can grab somebody who's around. A lot of pitchers. The pitchers are in blue now, I see. Pitchers are in blue. All right, it's going to be Wally Backman batting against Steve Carlton. So let's do it. Here's a pitch, and it's a 6. It's off Carlton's card. And a 67 will be an out. He's an SN, and that'll be a bouncer to first. 6-10, first baseman. It was Perez. He's a 1, so that'll be an out. So Backman bounces out, and that's 1 away. Top of the order now. Mookie Wilson leading off. That's what top of the order means. 8, Carlton. 82. He's an SN, and that'll be a fly ball right field. Right there's Rose. And that's 2 down. Here's Bob Baylor. It's a 7. That'll be off Carlton. And a 42 will be a strikeout. Baylor goes down swinging. 3 up, 3 down for Carlton. No runs, no hits. And it's 2-1. We go to the top of the 8th. It's going to be Schmidt, Perez, and Bo Diaz against Doug Sisk. So Seaver's out. Sisk is in. Seaver went 7. And he's in. He's due for the win. If Sisk can hold on, we'll see what happens. Sisk is a 2-8. So it's going to be off Schmidt. It's an 86. Righty versus righty, so that's going to be an out. Kind of an out. It's a pop-up right side. Kingman near the stands and makes the play. 1 down for Sisk. All right, next is a 2, so that'll be off Sisk, 31, and that is ball 4. So Perez walks. It's on at first. Let me quickly look at the. They've got Molinaro, Melbourne. Right. I like to put a pinch runner in there. Melbourne. That would be good for Perez. Melbourne is a B. That's much better than a D. So Melbourne is going to pinch run for Perez. So So we'll pull Perez. And I don't know that Milbourne can play first base. I don't think he can. No. Plays second base and shortstop and a third base. All right, so let's get a pinch runner, Milbourne. All right, here's Diaz. Pitch from Sisk. Sisk loses one. It's 5, so that's off Sisk's card. And a 66 is going to be an out. Diaz is a RN, and an RN is a ground ball to third. Hits it hard to third base. No error. It's going to go 5-4-3 round the horn, double play. And that retires the side. So two big plays turned by the Mets. And the Phillies lose their first baseman. Let's see what we're going to do for that with that situation. Pete Rose can play first base. So he's going to move to first. And who are we going to put in the outfield? Let's quickly look. In the outfield, what do we got? Greg Gross. Greg Gross will come in and play the outfield. All right, so Greg Gross will be in Milbourne spot. And it's going to be Dave Kingman leading off against Steve Carlton in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kingman, Foster, and Brooks. Let's do this. CD, that doesn't count right now. CD, there's nobody on base. 8, that's going to be off of Kingman with a 12, and that is a base hit. Ripped to center field. And so Kingman comes up with a single. And Carlton's down to 1 now. George Foster's up. Here's the pitch. Oh, that was off Kingman. Check for the error. No error. And here's a pitch. It's going to be off Foster at 81, RP 81. That's a pop-up middle of the infield. Backing up on the grass are Morgan and De Jesus. And it is Morgan who makes the call. So that's 1 down. Runner goes back to first. Here's Huby Brooks. Now, could I steal with Kingman? Let's take a look at what his card says, how many stolen bases he had. He's a D now, not stealing with him. Huby Brooks is up. Pull a card, that's a 5, that's off Carlton. 27 off Carlton. Struck him out. 2 down. Huby Brooks goes down on strikes, and here's Mark Bradley standing in for Mike Howard. That's a BD, oh boy. His BD is a 0. So we're going to look at the clutch batting, 0. Pull a card, and a 25 just missed. That's going to be, oh, wait a second, a 25 on a 0 is going to be a triple to left center. All runners score, so that's a drive to left center, and that's going to roll to the wall. Bradley with good speed, come around. He's going to, around second, digging for third. Here's the throw, the tag, and he's safe with a triple. So the Mets pick up a run. Drives in number 3. That's his 3rd RBI of the day. The stand-in has 3 RBIs today. And that's going to be a run scores. Oh, no, wrong side. Oh, yeah, that's it. So Carlton's out. Carlton is out. Giles is up. We're going to the pen. It's going to be Ron Reed coming in. The pitching cards are blue in 1983. Some of these players have names that are typewritten, so I don't know what that means. How that. Here's Ron Reed. There he comes. He's in there. He is a right-hander. So Carlton goes 8.2. And now it's Brian Giles. Here's a pitch. Let's see. Ron Reed gets an 8. The pitch is a 6. That's off Reed's card. And that's a 38. And a 38 will be a wild pitch, but there's nobody. Oh, is there anybody on base? Yes. That's going to allow a run to score. Yikes. So here comes Howard from third base scoring on a wild pitch. The score now is 4-1. Giles. That run is going to be charged to the other pitcher, so he's not going to get charged for that. That's a 5. That's off Reed, and an 85. That'll be an out, kind of an out. It's Reed is RN. That'll be a bounce to the second. Check the error. And no error. So 2 runs come in on a couple of hits and a wild pitch. And we go top of 9th. It's the bottom of the order, so we'll see at least one pinch hitter. Here's Sisk. It's off his card. It's a 45, and that is an out. RN, bounce to short. Fielded cleanly by Baylor, 1 down. Next is Bob Dernier. It's a 6, so it's off of Sisk, 84. And that's a bouncer to first. Easy play by Rose. I'm sorry, by Kingman. Double check Kingman's. He has an error rating of a 2, so he didn't make a lot of errors. All right, and now we're going to get a pinch hitter. Let's see. We're going to grab. They used Molinaro. They used Matusak. Let's see. Found Matusak, so we'll bring in Matusak. All right, here's a pitch from Sisk. It doesn't count. There's nobody on base. It's a 7, so that'll be off Sisk's card, a 63. He's an LP, Matusak is, and that'll be a fly ball, left center field. Over are Mookie Wilson and George Foster, and it's Foster makes the call, and that's the ball game. The Mets win it. No runs, no hits. Mets win it by a score of 4-2. Let's clear all this off, and we'll do a little of the. We'll take a quick look at the scorecard for this game. So a good game. Mets win it 4-1. I don't know why I said 4-2. 4-1. Now let's look at the hits. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. No errors that I remember. For the Mets, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't remember any errors either. They actually turned a couple of big double plays. So the win-loss goes to Carlton. He's 0-1, first game of the season. Seaver gets the win. He's 1-0. And that's about it. Big innings for the Mets were the first inning where they scored 2, and then the 8th inning where they scored 2. In the first inning, it was a 2-run single by Mike Howard. Well, it was Mark Bradley, right? Mark Bradley, because there was no Howard. He only played 1 game with the Mets. So I grabbed Bradley's card and had him fill in. And then later on in the 8th, he hit a 2-out triple to drive in Dave Kingman, who singled. So he was responsible for 3 out of the 4 runs as a stand-in for Mike Howard. So I guess we have to give the credit to Mike Howard. Mark Bradley was really the one that accomplished it. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Statis Pro, let me tell you a little bit about Statis Pro. You can get the modern sets for about $10 the whole season with all the players. The modern sets are based on the old cards, and they're updated and improved and so on and so forth, And you can get those, or you can play with the classic cards, which I like playing with the classic cards. And I picked up the 83 set after about 2 or 3 years looking for it. Very hard to find. And I was able to get lucky, and I found it. It looks to be complete so far. I haven't had any problems. And that's about it. So this is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. It's a Facebook group for those people who hate Facebook groups. You'll like this one. And I wish you guys best. This is Insomniac Baseball signing off.